What's going on, guys? Dwayne here with How to Build Credit TV, and I am back again. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about how to get an 800 plus credit score or 800 plus FICO score. It's always interesting, credit score, FICO score. There is a difference between the two, by the way. A credit score just refers to some type of credit score. So it could be a Vantage score. It could be something other than a FICO score. So the thing that's most important is your actual FICO score, because this is what most credit card companies and banks use to decide your credit worthiness, or if they're going to extend to you a loan, or what your rate's going to be on that loan or credit card that you might get approved for. So there definitely is a difference. And once again, I want to talk to you guys in this video about how to get an 800 plus FICO score. Now, of course, I always kind of talk to you guys here and there about the difference between the score that you see on Credit Karma, because of course Credit Karma is a great tool that you can use and kind of find, you know, where you stand and where you are, and kind of have a snapshot in regards to, like, you know, your credit and like what you can kind of do to tweak your credit score. And so Credit Karma is a decent tool, but it's not the FICO score, right? I think Credit Karma is actually a Vantage score, and we'll take a look at that in this video. Normally when I show my credit score with Credit Karma, I always tell you guys, hey, now listen, this is Credit Karma, and for most people, their Credit Karma score is normally higher than their FICO score. Ironically, there are people such as myself, for whatever reason, where my FICO score is always higher than my Credit Karma score. So of course, I've shown you guys that on my TransUnion, according to Credit Karma, my score is 795. And then according to Equifax on Credit Karma, my score there is 803. Well, recently I applied for a credit limit increase with Navy Federal Credit Union because, of course, I have a good relationship with them. And every now and then, because we get greedy, myself included, I feel like it's time to request a credit limit increase. So ironically, the other day I submitted a credit limit increase through the Navy Federal app, because supposedly when you do it that way, it's not a hard pull, right? Which is a very good thing. So I submitted it on the app. Not to my surprise, I was denied for the credit limit increase because, of course, on that particular card, I already have a $28,100 credit limit, and obviously at no point am I even halfway of that credit limit when it comes to using that particular credit card. And I do use that card a lot, but when it comes to, you know, am I using at least half of it, you know, or a third of it, which neither, right? I feel like it becomes a little more tricky to kind of justify some of the credit limit increases that some people do see, especially from Navy Federal Credit Union, because they're so generous in regards to their credit limits. But I decided to try it anyway. And once again, not to my surprise, I was denied. So of course I was denied. And they actually wanted me to send in information to verify my income. And I was like, I'm good. You know, it's actually quite funny because I tried to sign up with Truist Bank. They had a checking account promotion at the time, and they wanted me to submit all kinds of documents. And I was just like, you know what, I'm good. Just too much jumping through the hoops. It wasn't worth it to me. And so not to my surprise, I got a letter in the mail from Navy Federal. And this was on October the 10th. I got the letter here. I can share that with you guys right there. October the 10th, not October, August the 10th. Okay. And so I got this letter in the mail, and of course, at the bottom of the letter, it's telling me basically that it came from Equifax. And of course, it says, thank you for submitting your request to increase your credit limit for your Visa Signature Flagship account. Unfortunately, after careful consideration, we're unable to approve your request. This decision was based on the following reasons. And for me, the following reason, just to keep it 100 with you guys, the following reason was unable to provide or verify income. So as you guys can see right there, because I want to keep it real, unable to verify income. Okay. And then, of course, this is from Equifax. Let me see if I can get that on the screen, get my finger out the way. This is from Equifax. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So this FICO score that I'm going to show you guys is literally from Equifax, and it's based on, what is it, August the 8th. So if I show you guys that information here, based on August the 8th. And I always find this interesting, right? Because they tell you like things that can affect that could be affecting your credit score. So I'll show you guys exactly what they sent to me. All right, give me a second here. Okay, so you see it says your credit score 830, the date August the 2nd, 2022. And this is based on a score from 300 to 850. And my FICO score with Equifax is 830. Okay, look at these key factors that adversely affected my credit score. Portions of loan balances to loan amount is too high. Length of time accounts have been established and too many accounts with balances. Now, I don't know what the H they're talking about, because literally I just got rid of one of my loans, which was my Tesla loan. So I don't have that anymore. All I have technically is my student loans. And of course, whatever my credit card balances are, which is never high, and I pay them off weekly. Like if I use a credit card today on Monday, I'll pay it off by Friday. So it's actually interesting that those are the reasons. But that had nothing to do with the credit limit increase getting denied. Okay, they're just talking about what can affect your credit score. So I think it's very interesting because the score was 830 and they're telling me factors that are affecting my score. So one of the things I find pretty interesting is the fact that I was able to get 800 plus FICO score. And this is not the first time. I think I made another video showing you guys what my TransUnion score was at the time, my TransUnion FICO score. And I think in that video, it was an 803 or 8 something, right? So it's interesting that I have 800 plus FICO score, and every category, there's 5 categories that make up our credit score, or 5 big categories. And I'm not maxed out in each of the category, right? So in case you don't know those categories, the first one is payment history, and that's 35% of your score, 35%. So if that's based on an 850 scale, 35% is like 150 points. Let's make sure, 850, and let's do 35%. I'm sorry, 297 points. So 35% of 850 is 297.5 points. Okay. And then the next chunk is your credit utilization. That's 30% of your FICO score. So 30% of 850 is 255 points. Okay. So you got 255 plus 295.5. You're already up to 552. Okay. And then the next chunk is your average age of credit, or your credit history, meaning what's the average age of all your accounts in regards to like credit cards, maybe even student loans, revolving accounts. What's the average age of that? Now, you really need to be around 9 years. Your average age needs to be 9 years, and that is 15% of your score. So 850, let's do 15% of 850. That's 127.5 points. Okay, so we got 127.5 plus the 552.5. That's 680 points just for those 3 categories. Once again, payment history is 35, credit card utilization is 30, and then average age of credit is 15. And then you have new accounts, which is 10%. Okay, so 10% of 850 is 85 points. And then you have another, what is it? Credit type or credit mix. That's another 10%. So that's another 85 points, which I think is very interesting. And that equals 850. So those are the 5 categories that make up your 850 credit score. Now, of course, nowhere in there does it really talk about derogatory marks, but of course, derogatory marks affect your credit score. So even though it's not necessarily one of the major 5 things that make up our credit score, if you're late on a cell phone bill, or if you don't pay a cell phone bill, they report it. If you don't pay a light bill, they report it. And it has nothing to do with your credit, but it has to do with payment history. And so they report it to your credit report, and that will kill your score. So for me personally, my journey to over 800 FICO score actually started back in 2013, and I've talked about this on this channel quite a bit. I started that journey in 2013, and I started with the Capital One Platinum card. Now, back in 2013, my credit was jacked up, okay? Totally jacked up. This was my second time rebuilding my credit, and so I kind of knew what to do. And the thing was, like, back in 2013, of course, I didn't start the YouTube channel. YouTube existed in 2013, but I didn't start the channel. Back in 2013, I was like, okay, my credit's less than perfect. I know it's not going to get to good anytime soon because I'm not paying anybody any money. I didn't have any money. And I'm just going to have to, thug it out and let these things get off of my credit score, get off of my credit report over time. So over time means 7-8 years before some of these things will fall off of your credit report. Okay. And so that was my strategy. It was like, okay, I'm not going to stress what I can't, fix or rectify. And I'm definitely not going to stress myself trying to pay these things back with the money that I don't have. So I had the common sense to at least put myself in a position to start in 2013, right? That was just the goal. Like, let me just start. Okay. And getting started for a lot of us is a big deal. It's weird because I'm very much OCD. I can be, a perfectionist about certain things, right? I think the average human being would like for things to be ideal before we start, which is really kind of interesting. Speaking of being ideal, be sure to smash the thumbs up in this video. It helps tremendously. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dwayne. On this channel, I talk about credit cards and how to make money using credit cards. So be sure to subscribe and smash that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, so I had the sense to just get started, right? Like a lot of people, sometimes they'll say, well, you know what, I'll get a credit card or I'll start like fixing my credit once I pay off this or once things are better. And the reality is you should get started ASAP. And the beauty of that is there are so many different ways to get started. I mean, worst case scenario, you can get a secured credit card. And most of these secured credit cards, not most, but a lot of them, it's almost like you're guaranteed approval. And of course, there are secured credit cards out there that your approval is guaranteed. And so you can start there. It's not the most sexiest thing, but never is it sexy when you're starting the journey to do something or to accomplish something. You know what I mean? Like your freshman year of college, that's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? Your first day at the job, that's not necessarily sexy, especially a job that you have a lot to learn. It could be very intimidating. But the thing is, you get started, just like with college and just like with the job, you get started and you keep showing up and you keep completing assignments. And of course, you get to a point where it's not that big of a deal. But the thing is, you have to get started. And so that's the same thing with credit. It's the same thing with financial freedom. It's the same thing with health goals. It's the same thing with just about everything, especially, being a good parent, being a good sibling. You get the drift. OK, so for me, it was really cool because in 2013, I was like, I'm just going to get started. OK, didn't quite know, I really didn't have the knowledge at that time that like, okay, I got to wait 7 years for some of these things to fall off. And when you think about it in 2013 and you're like looking down the road 7 years, you're like 2020, right? Of course, 2013 is definitely a long time ago now. It's almost 10 years, right? So next year it'll be 10 years, which is interesting. But you got to get started. And the thing is, what you decide to do now affects what your tomorrow looks like. Right? What I'm doing now is going to dictate what next week is going to look like. It's going to dictate what next month is going to look like. It's going to dictate what next year is going to look like, depending on the thing we're talking about, right? You can take your baby steps that will eventually equal a big thing. And I think that's so beautiful. That's one of the things that gets me very, very excited in regards to life is that these small things add up. And like now, it's totally incredible how laser focused I am on taking the necessary steps daily, knowing that it's going to add up to something phenomenal in the future. And for me, I don't know about you, but for me, that gets me really excited, and it's even more cool because I am the one that's kind of controlling, what the outcome can be. I'm not a victim. And by the way, I like to control things. I mean, I just do. Like it's whatever. Okay, call it what you want. I like to be in control. At least I like to think that I'm in control. Like the majority of us pretending to life. Like I think I got my life figured out. I'm like, yo, I'm in control. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. When I'm not really in control, but at the same time, I'm not being passive. I'm being proactive, right? And that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. If you're looking to rebuild your credit or even improve your credit score, dive deep into that Credit Karma app just because, number one, Credit Karma is free. And y'all know I love the free 99. Like, that's right up my alley. For the longest time, it took me a while to get used to getting credit cards that had an annual fee. I love free things, okay? Free things, air quotes, right? But yeah, I think it's really interesting. And so, like, even though like today you guys are seeing my FICO score is 830 according to Equifax, right? There's a story behind that. You know, I didn't just wake up, you know, today and started building my credit, you know, last year, and now I have an 800 credit score. Now, of course, that's possible, but it's not possible to do it on your own. You would need to have an authorized user. You'd have to be an authorized user on somebody's card that had some significant amount of age. And of course, that would affect your credit score in a positive way. Of course, the other categories, right, other than your average age of credit, you need like 9 years to get that 15% of the 850, right? So your average age of credit needs to be 9 years to get the 15%. And so like, it's incredible that my credit score is over 800. It's 830 with Equifax at this moment, and I don't even have the 9 years. As a matter of fact, I'll show you guys because I've talked about it here on the channel and I've showed you guys a couple of times. I'm going to log into my Credit Karma account here, doing the Face ID. So it's going to pull it up here. Let me clean my phone. Sorry about that. It's gonna pull up here eventually. Give me 1 second here. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull up my Credit Karma here. Okay. So it's pulled up. And as you guys can see, I show you guys this all the time. So TransUnion, according to Credit Karma, 795, Equifax 803, right? But if I touch on it, if I touch on TransUnion right here, boom, you're going to see that my average age of credit is you know, 4 years and 5 months. So I still need work there. My inquiries, I have 4 inquiries on TransUnion, but my score is still a 795, which is incredible. And then if I go back and show you guys my Equifax, my average age of credit with Equifax is like 4 years and 7 months, right? And I have 2 inquiries there. Now, if I click on the credit age, you'll see here, give me a second as I show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. You'll see here that in order for it to be excellent, you need 9+ years. Look at that, right? So from 0 to 4, it needs work. 5 to 6, I'm not even at 5. 5 to 6, it's fair. 7 to 8 years is good. 9+ is excellent. Okay, so imagine I'm not even there yet. I'm only at 4 years and 7 months on my Equifax, and I'm at 4 years and 5 months on my TransUnion. But everything else is pretty good. You know, so it's definitely interesting. It's been a journey, and I'm never into hype. You know what I'm saying? I'm never like, yo, you can get a perfect credit score tomorrow. No, you can't. You definitely can get a credit score over 700, especially if you're starting brand new. Yeah, you'll easily have that in the first 6 months, like easily. You pay your 1 credit card bill on time, you keep your utilization low, your credit score is going to be high, right? But as far as like getting to 800, it's going to take some time. And obviously you guys can see that you might get an 800 FICO score or credit score without having the 9 or the 9+ years that you need to have as far as your credit age to get the maximum 15%. So just a quick recap for the people that may just be joining us. By the way, smash that thumbs up. Your payment history is 35%. 35% of 850 is 255. Let's make sure it's just kidding. Wait, 850 times 0.35, 297. 35% of 850 is 297.5. The next chunk is the credit utilization. That is 30%. So 30% of 850 is 255. So we got 295.5, 255 for your credit utilization. And then the next big chunk is the 15% for your credit age, and that's 127.5. All 3 of those add up to 680. And then you have hard inquiries, right, or new accounts. That's 10%. 10% of 850 is 85. Then you have type, like your credit mix, that's another 10%. So that's another 85. And all of that equals 850. So that's basically the big picture. That's the meat and potatoes that make up your credit score. So knowing that and knowing how to like move and fluctuate and tweak each area, And the areas that really kind of affect your score a lot, obviously, is payment history. That's a no-brainer. Pay all your bills on time, not just your credit card bills, all your bills, right? Because if you don't pay your student loans, they can report that. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to affect your credit. So pay all your bills on time. Okay, that's the first thing. All right, that's huge. Now, when it comes to credit card utilization, once again, all you guys have to do is understand how that works. I'll show you guys in the Credit Karma app, because there's definitely a lot of misinformation about this. I keep clicking on my Robinhood app because they're both green. So sometimes I go to click Credit Karma and I'll click on Robinhood just like I did just then. Okay, so I'm showing you guys here your credit card usage. Okay, so your credit card usage or utilization. Let me show you here. There's a lot of misinformation in regards to this. This is according to Credit Karma, and this is accurate. So you see it says needs work. If the utilization is 50%, needs work. Between 30 and 49%, it's fair. And a lot of us think that 30% usage is good. That's not good. Then you see 10 to 29% is good. And then for excellent, you need to be between 0 and 9%. And so the simple example of credit card utilization is if you had one credit card and the credit limit was $1,000, if your balance on the card is $800, you're using 80%. So that's going to make your credit score go down tremendously. Whereas if you were using $10, that would be 1%. Okay, and your FICO score or credit score is going to be higher because your utilization is smaller. So it's important for us to know these things. I think the more that you put yourself in front of the credit information, such as this channel, such as all the other channels, there's countless channels on YouTube now in regards to credit. I mean, I don't even know all of them, or I shouldn't even say all of them, but I don't even know all the big players because I don't spend my time checking that out. But there are a lot of people on YouTube talking about credit. So there's no excuse. And the thing is, you can get your Credit Karma app for free and you can kind of tweak it and kind of see just how much, fudging with the credit usage affects your overall credit score. Like if your utilization is up at 40%, what does your score look like then? Versus if it was down to 4%, what does your score look like then? So a lot of it is just kind of trial and error and understanding how it works. And then once you understand, just like a lot of things in life, once you know how to play the game, you know what I mean? You can kill it. Or should I say you can skill it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely, want to make sure I take the time and shine some light on that because this video and this channel is not about a quick fix per se. Now, of course, there are ways to tweak certain things and it will help you and it can help you bigly. That's funny. I can't believe I said that. That's a Donald Trump reference, which is actually super funny because I used to watch, what was it? The Apprentice. And so anyway, I'm laughing because I can't believe I said bigly. But anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. This is a live stream. So of course, I'm going to jump into the live chat and interact with you guys and answer you guys' questions. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. This is the time and perfect place. We have a lot of people who are insanely knowledgeable in this chat. So be sure to ask questions if you guys have any. Hey, Josh, Get Business Credit, thank you so much for that $100 super chat. I appreciate you, my man. Hope that you guys are doing well. He says, what's up, D? Hey, I just pulled the trigger and got my first Tech Odyssey card, 36,000. I saw you made a video about them, but I have not watched it yet. Do you bank with them? I do not. I do not bank with them, actually, Josh. And congratulations on that freaking credit card approval. I mean, that's actually huge. It's huge. That's freaking dope, man. 36 G's. That never gets old to get approved for credit cards with a high limit. So congratulations to you. I know that always feels good, even though, a lot of us, myself included, we feel entitled to get high limit credit cards. So congratulations, man. Yes, sir. All right, cool. Let me jump back in the chat. I wanted to just make sure I shouted out Josh since he gave that $100 super chat. I appreciate you, my bro. Let me get back to the top of the Chizat. Once again, if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I hope you guys are all doing well. As you guys can see, your boy's doing good. You know what I mean? Looking healthy, slimming up a little bit. You know what I mean? Getting it together. So I'm doing really well. I'm in a very, very good mood. Today was a very productive day. I woke up at 3:50, normally 3:45, but I struggled last night with sleeping, so I pushed my alarm from 3:45 to 3:50. I know, wild side. You know what I mean? So I got up at 3:50. Last night was a trip because I kept feeling like I feel like I'm not sleeping. You know, like an hour would go by and I felt like I slept for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because I was sleeping. No, I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't shut my brain off. I don't know. It sucked last night. So I'm hoping today will be better. But I drove Uber today. Uber was pretty cool. Stopped for a couple hours, hit the gym, did 30 minutes on the elliptical, and then I did another 30 minutes on the bike. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys how hard I've been going. Let me see here. So you guys can see here, this is my activity, right? So like the red circle is basically 800 calories, right? So this was, what's this, Saturday? Let me go to today. So this is today, Monday, right? So you see my goal there. My goal is 800 calories, right? So this is Monday. And then if I scroll back the other way, here we go, this way. This is Sunday, right? I hit my goal. I did 1,100 calories. Then Saturday, 1,600 calories. Then Friday, 1,300 calories. Look, okay, didn't do so much, but let me go and show you guys another week where I was thugging it out, going hard like every day, like the whole week. Okay, it's not this week, but I closed my little give me a second here. I closed my ring, which is pretty dope. Here we go. Here's a good one. So basically this week I killed it. Like I closed my my activity ring, which is like 800 calories. I closed it every day from Tuesday all the way back to the following Monday. And this is the week before. Killed it. Closed it again. You know what I mean? This is the week before. No, it's not. I'm not moving. Here we go. Wait a minute. This is the week before. Anyway, you guys get the drift. This is a totally different week right here. Right? And you see I've been going hard. But the reason why I show you guys that is just because, like, you know, it pays to be consistent. And it's incredible that, like, we feel good when we're doing the things we know we should be doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's very silly. It's like being in school and, like, you study for your tests and you do well on the tests and you feel good. Well, you're supposed to study. You're supposed to study for the test, and technically, if you study correctly and, you know, give yourself the opportunities to be successful, you'll be successful. But it's incredible how something so simple makes you feel good about yourself and gives you self-confidence and just more confidence in general. And then, of course, since I'm working out like a boss, you know, I could see the difference. And it's very interesting because sometimes you can work out and not necessarily see the difference, and that could be very discouraging. You know, my advice is just keep grinding, keep going. You know what I mean? Because if you're consistent, and, you know, you're definitely going to see changes. And if you're even more consistent with your food, so like now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm very curious now. I'm like, all right, let's try to do this. Let's try to do this macronutrients crap, right? Because I say crap just because I'm not insanely knowledgeable. And it's always been easy not to like really do your macros, right? So your macros is like your protein, your carbs, and your fats, right? So like I'm 44, my protein's supposed to be the biggest piece of my pie, you know what I mean? And then my carbs is a smaller, and then of course fats is smaller than that. So like now I'm getting a little more serious to kind of see, all right, let's see what's going on with this protein, carbs, fat situation. Now, I haven't gotten insanely serious yet because, of course, that would involve doing resistance training. I'm just not there. It's nothing appealing about resistance training for me. Maybe if I had equipment at the crib, maybe I would do it. But, you know, your boy's too cheap to buy equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could even buy Bowflex, you know, just the dumbbells. And I can go hard with the dumbbells. I can do everything with the dumbbells. But I'm not going to buy Bowflex, right? I'm not going to buy, because it's money. So, yeah. Anyway, once again, if you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chizat. All right. We got Devin in the house, who's a channel member. Devin says, hey, Dwayne, hope you're doing well, bro. I'm doing extremely well. You already know. We got Lisa Love Beauty. What's going on, girl? Haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for stopping by again in another video. Adrian, what's going on, my man? He says, I'm so early today. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing? I saw your profile video. Very good when you want to start buying more stocks. I see you have a lot of cash. No, I don't have a lot of cash. That's the thing. The buying power is It's there in the account because I'm using margin investing on Robinhood. So Robinhood has extended to me basically like 300 G's as far as margin investing is concerned. And so that cash balance that you see, the buying power, it's actually because of margin investing. So no, I don't have $145,000 just sitting in my account. Trust me, it wouldn't be sitting there if I had it. You know what I mean? I would be invested somewhere. Lisa Love Beauty says, so far I have 9 credit cards. Let's go, girl. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely. I mean, in reality, you know, do we need more than 9 cards? Probably not. But these sign up bonuses is a turn on for me. You know what I'm saying? I could apply for a sign up bonus any day because that's just, for me, it's easy money. You know, it's basically free money, especially if you do it right. The way that I normally go about doing the sign up bonuses is basically I make sure I know how I'm going to meet that minimum spend before I even apply for the card. Like that's just what it is. It makes it really easy for me. So like, let's say I'm going to buy a new laptop or a new computer or, you know, or buy some gifts for my kids that are going to be pretty pricey. Now, I know I can easily meet that minimum spend because these are things that I'm going to be buying anyway. I never get the credit card and say, okay, this one has a $10,000 minimum spend. I never apply for the card and then say, okay, I need to spend $10,000, you know, or okay, I need to spend $4,000 or $5,000 or $3,000 or whatever the sign up bonus is. So yeah, credit cards are definitely fun though. I mean, it never gets old to me, to be honest. Diamond, what's going on, girl? She says, hey, Dwayne. Hi, Dwayne and Credit Fam. What's going on, Diamond? We got my boy Jay Bizzle in the house. What's up, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure to have you in the stream, my brother. Hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you again. I know it's been a minute, so appreciate you stopping by, man. Give me a second here as I'm filtering through some stuff here on my screen. Give me a second. Once again, if you guys have any questions, slap them into the comment section. I'm here to answer all your questions, or at least try to. We have way too many smart people in here for you not to ask questions. Devin says, my flagship credit limit is just over yours at 29. There we go, D. That's awesome, man. That's incredible. Cinemadness, who's also a channel member, says, Dwayne is back again. Monday night live streams are back again, too. What's going on, my man? It's a pleasure to see you in the house. Respect, all kinds of respect, always and forever, man. Love that you're out here grinding so hard at such a young age. We got Mr. Dino in the house, says, glad to see you once again, Dwayne. Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to be here as usual, man. It's my pleasure to be here. Adrian says, I was approved for the Wells Fargo autograph. This is my last credit card. I have 8, 796 credit score. Oh, man, how can you say it's your last credit card? Bro, there are so many freaking good cards and sign-up offers out there. As a matter of fact, I booked a ticket to go to New York. Actually, my mom lives in Connecticut, but I fly into New York. And I booked a ticket with my Delta Sky Miles points. Finally, I actually already made the video, but it was just basically like a screen recording of my iPhone when I was doing it, and of course with audio. But I finally booked a ticket using some of my Delta Sky Miles points. I have a lot of Delta points, and Delta's a trip, so you know it's not like Houston is a hub, so it's not like the most convenient. But I still love having all those points. I had 172,000 points. I think I have like I don't know. Let me double check right now. I don't have that many points now. Of course, I think I ended up spending like 60-something thousand points. Let me see what's going on in my account. They just got my they got my trip here. So I have 119,000 points right now. Delta Sky Mile points. Let me see if there's any personal information on here before I show y'all. And we Gucci. So right there, you can see my points, 119,000 points. Okay, so that's pretty cool, and it's pretty neat. I actually booked first class, which is interesting. It's the first class that I have actually booked. Not the very first class experience I've had, but the first class that I actually booked. I actually experienced first class on United Airlines because, of course, they have their little mileage plus deal, and if you buy an economy ticket and there's seats available in first class, they'll upgrade you for free, which is always really, really cool. So that was my first experience actually, and I didn't pay for that either. Devin says, I recently got a 3,000 credit limit increase on my Overstock store card, putting my limit to 15,300, and I joined the 6th credit union about 3 weeks ago. Congratulations, Devin. Thank you so much for taking the time to share that info. Appreciate you as always, my man. Yes, sir. All right. Give me a second. I don't know what happened to my DJ horn, man. It's depressing. I need to get with Points Blank Travel. I need to get with Rod because I know his Ecamm game. This is a software that we use for these videos. His Ecamm game is on a whole nother level. Once again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. That's the purpose of this live stream and this channel. Throw them into the comment section. I'll do my best to answer you guys' question. Man, I am hot. Give me a second here. I don't know why I'm so hot, but I am hot. I'm sweating. I don't know if y'all can see. I don't know if y'all can see me on camera sweating, but your boy is sweating. I'm oily, and I took a shower before this live stream. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's see here. Cinemadness says, so Dwayne, what are your thoughts on the market tanking on Friday due to the Papa Powell, Jerome Powell, taking a hard stance on fighting inflation? VTI dropped 3% and I lost $140 on a 4,000 plus portfolio. Yeah, you know, honestly, it's super interesting. A couple of things. The fact that they can make an announcement like that and it affects the stock market the way it does. Number one, people know that that's going to happen. So one of the first things I thought about after crying about my own portfolio, my portfolio fell $16,000 on Friday. After seeing that, one of the first thoughts I had was somebody sold their shares before this announcement because they knew that it was going to affect the stock market the way it did, you know, because you just know. And so it's so crazy to me that, like, you know, supposedly insider trading is not legal, right? But of course, people know how an announcement such as the one that they made on Friday could and probably would affect the stock market. So I'm just like, yo, somebody made a bunch of money because they were like, yo, we about to announce. And they sold a lot, made some quick money. You know, the market dropped and, you know, they probably bought some more. So that was the first thing I thought about. But, you know, I mean, it's a stock market, man. Honestly, my portfolio is always all over the place. As a matter of fact, I made a video talking about the fact that my portfolio at one point was down $83,000. And of course, it never feels good. At the same time, that same portfolio was up $59,000. Now, none of that matters because I didn't sell money. I didn't sell my position when I was down 83,000, and I didn't sell my positions when I was up 59,000, right? So it's definitely interesting to say the least. Devin says, my FICO scores are about 725, 740, and 750. Not bad, man. I mean, obviously, you know, the FICO score, before we actually experience a FICO score over 700, we're like, yo, 700 would be nice, you know, and then we get there and we're like, okay, this is cool, you know, this is nothing special. And it's very much like that regarding a lot of things in life. And I've kind of learned that over the years. You know, it's, I guess people say it's about the journey, right? It's not necessarily the destination, right? The destination is like, yo, I want an 800 FICO score, right? But the journey is definitely the one that requires the most work, and in a way is kind of rewarding to you know, when you finally get to your destination. And if we're talking an 800 credit score, it's, okay, you get there and you feel good, and then it's like, okay, it's nothing special. But definitely before you get there, it's all about that work. Adrian says, Dwayne, are you prepared for F5 tornado in the stock market this coming months? I think September will be wild. I'm ready to trade with my 6K Robinhood cash account. You know, I'm always reevaluating what I should be doing with my account, because in regards to the stock market, there's so many ways to make a killing. And, you know, I wish I was more knowledgeable. I wish I could do like options trading. But the thing is, like, you know, I have PTSD from when I was down $60,000 back in 2020. Okay, so I have PTSD from that. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to sit still. I'm not going to put any new players, any new concepts in here. I'm just going to sit still. So it'll be interesting to say the least. You know, I'm here to kind of ride it out Robert, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. Robert says, I went from 5 something to 744 in 1 year because of this channel, but now it's stuck there. Probably too many open accounts. Robert, that's incredible. 5 something to 744 is huge. And thank you for the kind words. I mean, obviously, I just share my experiences here on this channel, and as a result, people are benefited, hopefully, in a positive way. And so I can't complain. It's an honor to be here and serve and help in any way possible. Cinnamon says, hey, Dwayne, depending on how long this stream lasts, I might be able to jump back on the stream because I have a Zoom call, but I'll still be leaving comments. If I don't, I'll watch the playback. All right, cool, Cinnamon. I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate the consistency, bro. Mr. Dino says, my late payments finally cleared after so many years. It was due to repossession because I co-signed for a friend. I'm happy for now. I will never let anyone use my credit ever again. Definitely a lesson learned. I know for me, I had some experiences with that with family members, and it's always a tough one because it's like, you know, some family members can feel entitled, you know, like you have to help them, you know, you got to, why wouldn't you? You know, I would help you if I could. And it's like, of course you're going to say you would help me if you could. So it's like, that means nothing because you can't, but I would do it for you. Yeah, I definitely have had my experiences like that. Darren says, what's your credit utilization percentage? My credit utilization percentage is always around 1%, and it's actually lower than 1% all the time. They say around 1%. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll log into my Credit Karma again. Give me a second here. Got the Face ID going, so we got Credit Karma loading up here, as you guys can see. Eventually, okay, I'll show you my credit utilization. It's gonna say 1%, but it's always lower than that. I can click on either one of these. I'll click on TransUnion, and then I'll click on utilization. So it says 0% right now, right? Get it together. There we go. So it says right now that I'm using $894 out of 217,000, right? I think on Equifax it's going to say 1%. Let's look at Equifax. Yep, Equifax says 1%. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. Interesting. So it has 1% here, which obviously it's not 1%. It has 1%, $894 out of $171,000. So you got $171,000 here on Equifax, and then you got $217,000 on TransUnion. Obviously, 1% of $171,000 is not $894. Okay, it's not. So I don't know why it says 1%, but it definitely never moves from that. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I have so much available credit, right? So it's, you know, it's easy for me to stay in that category because I pay my credit cards off every single week. You know, sometimes I get a little lazy, and you know, I might let the balance sit there on a couple of my cards until they send me a statement, which I never get statements anymore because everything's online. Even the paper statement, I never, like the online, you know, the e-statement or whatever you want to call it. It's always online, so I never ever look at it. But sometimes I let it sit there. But for the most part, I pay it off every single week. Darren says, how many revolving accounts do you have? I have easily 28-ish. On Credit Karma, it says a lot. Like I have like 41 on one and maybe 39 accounts on the other. But it's not quite that many. What's your credit mix for trade lines? For trade lines, you're asking me. I'm not sure exactly what that means. My credit mix for trade lines, not exactly sure what that means. Are you asking if I'm an authorized user? And yes, I do have, I think, 2 cards where I'm an authorized user. But as far as mix, it's just 2 credit cards. It's not you know, anything special. Life for a Business says, all you need is a 750 credit score. Rates aren't any different if your credit score is 750 or 800. Definitely have heard that, and that's normally common information. supposedly, right? Because I know, like, when you go to the car dealership, like if you have let's say you have a perfect 850 credit score, the rate that you're going to get with that perfect credit score versus having a 780 or whatever that number is, right? So that it's going to be a range, right? So that range might be from 760 to 850 or from 780 to 850. I don't know what the range is. I don't know if it's actually a 750 to a 800. I don't know if that's the actual range, but you're right. You're not going to get, you know, like, because you have a perfect credit score, you're going to get, you know, the perfect APR or the lowest possible APR. The lowest possible APR, once again, is going to fall for people within that certain range, whatever that highest range is in regards to your credit score. So that's definitely a good point. Very good point, my brother. Points Blank Travel, what's going on, my man? Be sure to go to Points Blank Travel's YouTube channel as well as Josh's YouTube channel, Get Business Credit. He says, how to build credit TV, my brother D. Good to catch you live. I've been grinding these with these 4 channels. Yeah, I saw a little snippet of your live stream last night with Brown Garabella and helping her get to 3,000 subscribers. So that was pretty cool. But I hear you, man. I need to get on that grind with these channels. I have 3 channels, but I'm only actively doing 2. And I thought about starting another channel, but I've been very lazy about getting that one going. And that channel is going to be totally different. But yeah, Ulysses, what's going on, my man? Ulysses is a channel member. He says, hello, Dwayne. How you doing tonight? I'm doing great, my brother. It's always a pleasure to see you. Once again, guys, if you have questions, don't hesitate. I'm going to see everybody's comment in the comment section. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm looking forward a little bit to the sleep tonight, if I'm being honest with you, because that 3:45 comes very early in the morning. And today was really, really cool when driving Uber, because it was like, all right, I gotta go, because I've been very lazy lately. I haven't been as aggressive as I wanted to in regards to driving Uber. Mondays are always easy, right? By the time Wednesday, Thursday morning comes around, I'm like, yo, that 3:45, man, F that 3:45. And then, of course, I got to get out there on Friday, because Friday is normally a good day. Let me see here. Deborah, what's going on? It's been a minute. Thank you for stopping by. Says, hi, Dwayne. Are they across the board? Equifax 799, TransUnion 781, and Experience 761. I think you're sharing your scores, Deborah. And if that's the case, that's incredible. Keep up the good work, and congratulations for doing the work. Darren says, not 0 though, 1% to 9%. 0 doesn't report. Honestly, Darren, you know, I think once your credit score gets to a certain point and you're kind of maxed out, and by maxed out I mean you're doing well in the other 4 categories other than utilization, you definitely, like, for me, I never worry about my utilization being 1%. Like, I mean, you saw the available credit limit, right? So like $171,000, you know what I'm saying? 1% of that is what, $1,700? Let me see if I'm right. Yep, $1,700, right? So I'm not going to be concerned with trying to, you know, have a $1,700 balance across my cards or whatever. I just pay it. I mean, after a while, you don't even sweat the utilization anymore. And that's the beauty in getting multiple cards, right? So people will say, like, why do you have 20 cards? Well, number one, I love the sign-up bonuses, right? Cashback, give me that. Free. You know what I'm saying? Points, give me that. Free. Like, for me, I mean, I could just continue to rack up credit cards. If there's a sign-up offer and I can find a way to maximize it, I'm definitely going to do that. Let's see here. Robert said, is there going to be question time? Yeah, of course, man. You already know that by now. Life for a business says, you are the GOAT, brother. I don't know about the GOAT, but I'll definitely say that I'm committed to the cause. And once again, it's always a privilege and pleasure and honor to be here and serve and share. It's so interesting because I never really pat myself on the back in regards to YouTube, and I never think anything big of this channel and this community. You know, like I don't say, oh, I'm doing such a great job and I've touched so many lives and I've affected so many people. Like I really don't ever think that way. And it's very interesting just because I think as human beings, we can be very particular. And if my definition of success looks a certain way in my mind, if I don't accomplish it the way it looks in my mind, it's almost like I'm not successful, right? And so it's definitely interesting. It's always, like I said, a pleasure to be here and serve and help in any way that I can. Cinemadness says, so guys, my journey starting with my ATM business is moving along. I'm probably at one of the hardest checkpoints in the process. I need to open a business bank account at a bank which owns their own ATMs. Listen, bro, I respect the grind. I mean, this is incredible to me. You know, so young, so gifted, going hard, man. That's freaking awesome. Deborah says 6% credit card utilization for me. Hey, listen, Deborah, that's way better than the 30% that somehow marketing has convinced people that 30% utilization is good. You know, I mean, think about all those people that have heard that, you know, especially people that don't necessarily know about the different categories that make up their credit score. They'll be like, you know, I heard somewhere 30% utilization is good, and it's not. So that's awesome. Mr. Dino says, I have 16 inquiries due to shopping for a Nissan NV200. Thank God I didn't need a cosigner. I wouldn't want to jeopardize anybody's credit. I got the loan through SDCCU. Cool. Very, very cool. Congratulations on getting that loan, man. Hey, Sue says that sounds like anxiety. That's funny. Yeah, definitely not, 16 inquiries is a lot, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Darren says, brother, take naps. Naps are free. Multiple naps throughout the day. If you have time for coffee, you have time for power naps. You know, I used to take naps. What happened is instead of wasting that time, and I say wasting, but it's not wasting, right? Because sleep is super important, and I'm definitely gypping myself in regards to my body healing and restoring and rejuvenating and all the wonderful things that happen when we sleep. I absolutely gyp myself, and I know that because, you know, sometimes I get 5 hours, 6 hours. I try to get more, but when I'm driving Uber, if I can get 6.5, that's a W. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just replaced my naps with working out because that's super important to me. Now, at this particular point, I don't necessarily need to go as hard in the gym. So I could kind of incorporate the naps, but I can't power nap, man. I like to get in there. You know, a nap to me is like hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? And that's not really a nap. But I definitely hear you. Darren says, don't sleep on sleeping. Now, these are facts, man. Sleeping is very important. Life for a Business says, good stuff, brother. Health is wealth. You already know, man. You already know. I'm going to be one walking old person. You know what I mean? Like 30 years from now, when I'm 74 and I can't hit the elliptical the way I'm hitting it now, I'm going to be out there walking away, walking the mile. YouTube Experiment, what's going on, my man? It's been a minute. Thanks for stopping by. He says, hi all. Yes, sir. Darren says, let your adrenal glands heal. Whole food sources of vitamin C and sleep. Man, I wish it was that easy, but it's one of those things for me. It's like, you know, one of the million things that we know we need to do, but we don't necessarily do it. And by do it, I really mean make time for it, right? Like, we know we should sleep, you know, probably at least 7 hours, right? Like, sleep is super important, like super duper important. Well, we know we should exercise too, you know, at least 30 minutes a day. It's important, like super duper important, but we don't make time for it just because, I don't know, you know, like for me personally, it's easy for me to justify getting less sleep because, you know, I got to go out and make the money, or because I got to go to the gym, or whatever the excuses are. You know, it's hard for me to prioritize sleep. And it's certainly interesting because we sleep a lot of our lives anyway. And if we really slept the way we should, we would sleep away more of our lives. Give me a second here. YouTube Experiment says, congratulations on the 830 FICO. What scoring model is it? it doesn't really state on the letter. It doesn't say anything specific like FICO 9 or FICO 8 or anything like that. It doesn't state that. I was definitely looking for that to share with you guys. Devin says, been busy doing bills, learning my new credit union, and thinking about my birthday, which is exactly 2 weeks, which is in exactly 2 weeks. All right, I hear you, Devin. Got you, my man. Darren says, benefits of working out come during recovery, not during actual exercise session. Recovery equals rest. These are facts. You're preaching to the choir, my brother, but definitely you're preaching. That's funny. Broly gains equals free. The Bioneer equals free. Bro, you're killing it today, Darren. He says hybrid calisthenics equal free. Hybrid calisthenics. Are these people's YouTube channel? Darren, let me know. Diamond says, how did you go about applying for the limit increase? Was it a hard pull? Yeah, so of course I've shared that by now, just because I did a whole lot of talking in the beginning of the video. But I did I requested the credit limit increase inside the Navy Federal app, and it has not reported. So it's not a hard pull if you do it inside the Navy Federal app. Walter, what's going on, my man? Thank you so much for stopping by. Walter says, what up, credit family? Yes, Walter, it's a pleasure to have you in the building again, my brother. As always, it's a pleasure to see you. Ulysses says, I have the Capital One Quicksilver 1000 limit. Yes, sir. I got the Capital One Quicksilver also. Journey to Credit, what's going on, my bro? What's up, T? Thanks for stopping by. He says, what's up, Dwayne? I'm doing well, bro. You already know. Life for a Business says, check out the new Delta terminal in LaGuardia. It's very nice. You know, I haven't been. The terminal, yeah. Actually, they were doing construction, but definitely the Delta terminal in LaGuardia is nice. And there is a bunch of American Express marketing stuff in that terminal. Like, when I say a bunch, I mean a bunch. But yeah, you're right. Delta does have a nice presence in LaGuardia. Adrian says, this is my last card for a time. I need to wait 1 year to apply for the heavy cards. Fair enough, man. I know how it feels. As a matter of fact, what month is this? This is August. I have another inquiry falling off in September. So I'm excited about that. That's going to fall off on, I know, my TransUnion and my Equifax. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. Points Blank Travel says, D, first class is the only way to go. I flew first class to NYC with American a few weeks ago. Ticket was $1,400. My cost equals free. Yeah, you know, it's definitely impressive. You know, I definitely talk about the fact that I'm not the greatest when it comes to maximizing my points and this travel partner and that travel partner. Of course, you have a lot of people on YouTube talking about how to do exactly that. I'm not one of those people. I've never flown across the world and use, you know, my points to fly business class. You know, it hasn't happened to me yet. I don't know if it will, because I'm spending my points. So yeah, it was definitely cool to be able to book that business class, first class. And what I actually did was I'm flying Delta. I couldn't really justify the first class coming back. So my flight is going to be arriving in New York at like 11:32 or 11:45. Of course, I talk about it in the video. I haven't uploaded the video yet. But yeah, so I flew first class. I'm going to be flying first class from Houston to LaGuardia. Because, of course, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that first class dinner is going to look like, but I'm doing it. And I come back very early in the morning. My flight leaves at 6:30 a.m. My brother, who's flying to another country, his flight leaves at 6 a.m. So we were trying to get to the airport at the same time for both, right? So I think one of us gets in at 11:32 p.m. and the other one gets in at 11:45 p.m. And then we leave. He leaves at 6 a.m. and I leave at 6:30 a.m. So I couldn't justify the first class flight on Delta back to Houston because I'm like, you know, breakfast probably is not going to be that big of a deal. And it's funny, like I'm still cheap. I'm like, I don't want to use all those points. So I don't remember the amount of points that I used for that ticket, but my ticket was about seven something, like $768, or it would have been like $800 something if I had done the first class both ways, but I didn't because once again I'm cheap. Devin says, I am 1/3 of my sign-up bonus for PenFed Platinum Rewards card at about 530 of 1,500 spend to earn 15,000 points. I'm assuming those points can be transferred to cashback, Devin. I'm assuming that, right? Kay says, guys, FNBO closed all my accounts and it skyrocketed my utilization to 83%. With a 29,000 debt on closed accounts, can anyone tell me how to fix this situation? Well, I mean, in order to get the utilization down, you know, you got to pay whatever card or whatever scenario it is that has the utilization up that high, to be honest with you. I'm sorry you're experiencing that. That's definitely jacked up. Big Tap, what's going on, my man? Says, Dwayne, that Navy Federal flagship that started with 5,000 is now 38,000. Man, that is freaking dope. Congratulations. That is huge. I see we have 74 viewers in the live stream right now. This is a live stream, so if you have questions, feel free to slap them into the comment section and I'll do my best to answer it. All right. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up yet in this video, though, definitely smash the thumbs up. I'd love for you to support this video for free. Devin says, my 6th credit union is Black Hills Federal Credit Union, and I shared info about to Lyndon on Facebook since he was interested, since he's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's spelled, gotcha. Very, very good, man, and very cool. What's going on? S House is in the house. What's going on, S House? It's been a minute, man. He says, what's up, everybody? My scores are 754, 758, and 712. Still got some work to do, Dwayne. Nah, I mean, do you? I mean, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot, but definitely for me, when it comes to my credit score, it's very much like my finances. It's a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to see my score go up. I like to see my bank account go up. So for me, it's like, okay, how much can I max this out? And I used to be insanely OCD. Prior to 2019, I used to just be like, you know, every single penny, maybe not every single penny, but I would be insanely aware and deliberate about the money that I was spending or not spending. Since about November 2019, well, actually maybe a little bit before November 2019, I started to loosen up. The reason why I said November 2019 is because that's the day that I quit my job that I hated, with a capital H. Hated that effing job. And it had just gotten to the point where, you know, I couldn't really justify being there. I never wanted to quit the job or walk away from the job because for me, I believe in the words of Rihanna, all I see is signs. All I see is dollar signs, right? I wanted both income. You know, I was doing well. YouTube was going well. And then, of course, I had my money here from my job. And, you know, I wanted both because it was like, you know, I'm kind of behind as far as my retirement situation is concerned. So I'll take both. And so November 2019, November 22nd, 2019, it was a Monday, the Monday of Thanksgiving week. I was out of there. I was miserable, and I was like, you know what, y'all can have this effing job. And it was so strange because I was like insanely respectful, because I'm that type of guy. I don't like confrontation. I don't like to escalate things, and I'm always PC. And it's very interesting because of that experience that I had working in that industry, I'm like, man, you know what? I think this is lesson learned. You know, I'm one of those people that I'm not going to check you the first time you do something, right? Like some people are like, oh no, zero tolerance, you know, blah, 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 right? And they check the person the first time something happens. And actually, that's the best way to be, right? But I'm not like that, right? So it's weird. Like, it brings on more stress on me. So you disrespect me or you do something that I think is questionable, I don't check you. And then it happens again and I don't check you again. And then, like, I'm taking notes. I'm taking scores now, right? It's like, okay, time number 1. Okay, time number 2. Okay, time number 3, right? Okay, next time I'm going to say something. Like, I'm that type of guy just because I don't really do the confrontation. But yeah, man, I hated that job and I'm glad that I was able to get up out of there for sure. Money Mayweather says top 5 credit unions that's not Navy Federal. You got me. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not part of the reason why I say you got me is I'm not necessarily in a space where I'm gonna be running down credit unions or credit cards from those credit unions. So like for me, because I've been kind of sitting still trying to do the garden, you know what I mean? So these inquiries can fall off, you know. I'm not the biggest when it comes to credit unions. I know for me personally, Navy Fed is the GOAT, you know, and the thing about me is I like to say things that I know personally that I've experienced. I know PenFed is good, of course. There are other great credit unions out there. When it comes to credit unions or credit cards, the best ones are the ones that work with you. The best ones are the ones that are generous. The best ones are the ones that allow you to get what you want to get from them. So as far as I'm concerned, it could be credit union I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? It could be credit union X. Who cares? If they're giving you money and giving you access to the things that you need, that's all that matters. But yeah, I mean, for me, Navy Fed is the GOAT. So that's a very, very good question, Money Mayweather. I appreciate you slapping that in there. If anybody else wants to tackle that question, they sure can. Cinematic says, so thoughts on the CD Double Cash finally getting a limit time intro bonus to complete or compete with newer cards like the Active Cash. I mean, that particular card did have a sign up bonus. I know that when I got that card in 2018, and of course I did a video on it when I got that card, there was a sign up offer and it was nothing special. I think it was like, I want to say it was like $150, right? I don't remember what the minimum spend was, but I definitely saw that there was an offer at that particular time. So I guess it's good that they're kind of returning to that, or that they have returned to it. Darren says, by credit mix, I meant revolving versus fixed versus mortgage. It'll be a while before you get to this response. Yeah, honestly, Darren, I don't have sheesh. The only fix that I have is my student loans, and of course revolving, I have a bunch of credit cards, and mortgage, I don't currently have a mortgage right now. So my energy is elsewhere. You know, one of the things I like about success is the fact that there's so many ways to get there. You know, I think for me, the stock market is an interesting place because there is no right or wrong way to make money. You know, if you're making money, then it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's interesting because like in the United States, especially in the world, but we'll say the United States because this is where we are conditioned to do certain things and fall in line and have these things and this stuff and that stuff. And so like it's easy to get caught up in it. And as a matter of fact, you know, some of it's involuntary. You know, even just the way we think and the way we reason sometimes, we're not aware that literally a lot of that is our conditioning, whether it's the conditioning by what people say is beautiful or what your family say success or whatever. You know, we're all kind of being conditioned in that way. Anyway, I don't know why I got on that tangent. Larry, what's going on, my man? He says, hey, Dwayne, happy Monday. I got approved for the new Southwest credit card with Chase for $13,000, $13,300 now with a total of $98,800 available credit with a 789 credit score. I'm shooting for 100 G's, 6 cards total. Congratulations, Larry. Thank you for taking the time to share that information here with your family, my man. Yes, sir. That's freaking dope, man. That is huge. All right, give me a second here to get back to where I need to. Life for a brother says, pay down the debt, brother. That's a difficult one. Okay. You're talking to the guy earlier about the 29 G's and the 83,000, the 83% utilization. Devin says, my second PenFed credit card hit my report, and after my credit limit increases report, I will be at over 325,000 in total credit on my report. Devin, that's dope. That's beautiful, man. It's you know, the other day I was thinking, because it's interesting, right? Like I have all this available credit, just like Devin. Devin has, well, not just like Devin. Devin has more than me, right? And I'm thinking like, yo, it's incredible. Like in the United States, and I say the United States because the U.S. just simply has, we have access to things that other countries don't, period. And so I was like, man, you know, imagine people freaking run up their credit. You know, like imagine if I spent 200 G's in with my credit and then just filed bankruptcy. right? And then wait 7, 8, let's say 10 years. Let's just push it to 10 years. Wait 10 years and then I get credit cards all over again. And I can do this a couple of times in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? You could do it a lot, to be honest with you. And people have. I think that's crazy. I think that is crazy. Sin of Madness, we can't tell you what the new channel is, my brother. We can't tell you what that concept's about. We got to keep it on the DL. You know what I mean? We got to. So, I mean, I could tell you individually, but definitely not going to tell you here in this public setting. Darren says, good. Look forward to sleeping. It's a blessing. Yes, sir. Larry says, no credit card debt, and I want to keep it that way. My question is, how important is it to have a large credit card availability? I don't know that it's important. I mean, you know, I'm never going to use half of my available credit. You know, I have 25,000 limit, 28,000, 30,000. I'm never going to use half of it. I don't think I will ever go and say I'm going to buy a car on my credit card, right? Even if I have the available credit limit to do so, I could find a better way to, you know, make more money from that money. It's kind of like the Tesla. Like at the time when I got the Tesla, you know, I could have paid for the Tesla cash, but what's the point of doing that? Like, I feel like my cash is better served doing something else, right? But I mean, people do it. People do it. Once again, if you have any questions, ask. Jesus says, knock, knock, who's there? 345. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm telling y'all, I pushed my alarm to 350. Look at this. Look at this. Got that 350 joint. You know what I mean? I pushed it to 350. I was like, I don't need that extra 5 minutes, especially last night. I was not sleeping. I was not feeling it. So I got ready real quick. And one of the things that Uber does is, so if I turn on the app and it's 3:59 or 3:58, that counts as, it doesn't count as Monday, right? So like the time starts at 4 a.m. Like the new day starts at 4 a.m. So I didn't want anything to be credited to my Sunday. So I wasn't necessarily in a hurry to run out and you know, hit go on the Uber app before 4 o'clock. So I chilled because I wanted to make sure that first ride was going to go towards my today. YouTube Experiment says UNFCU in regards to top 5 credit unions excluding Navy Federal. Darren says, have you used the AZEO credit utilization method? Of course not, Darren. I have no clue what you're talking about, my brother. Devin says, I've been looking into more cards with FNBO for fixed for life balance transfers. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I think balance transfers are really, really awesome. A lot of people don't know about balance transfers. Man, I thought my phone was plugged in. They don't really know about balance transfers or understand it. And it's sad. Balance transfer is like the 8th wonder of the world, man. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Devin says, Credit Karma shows my utilization is 14%. Chambe, what's going on, my man? Says, hello, Dwayne and everyone here. Long time not here, but I always watch replay videos. Chambe, it's a pleasure to have you in the house, my brother. And thank you for shouting out. Let's see. Kay, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not, but I see your comment there. YouTube Experiment says DCU is open membership by donation. The big issue with DCU is hold times, and the new app is still being updated often to fix the bugs as it's entirely new. Also, I hear Alliant is good. That's funny. I didn't even think of Alliant, and Alliant is the credit union that I was able to get my Tesla loan through. And I also have heard that they're pretty good as well. I currently have a savings account with them right now. They sent me an email about getting a checking account and getting $100 free. And if I open a checking account, they'll donate $100 to some charity or some group. I still have that email as unread in there because I wanted to go back. So I appreciate you bringing up Alliant. Cinemadness says, so guys, update time. I got bonus for my Momo brokerage. Yes, that's the name. I deposited $100. They gave me $27.76 in some random stocks. And I do mean random. I got 2 shares of BB, FCEL, and PLTR. That's funny. I definitely don't know what those are. Darren says, yes, those are calisthenics YouTubers. That was from when you mentioned not wanting to buy stuff. Yeah, Darren, it's so interesting because doing that type of workout is like, it's tough, man. You know how it is. It's like, okay, let's say you get on the elliptical. Okay, well, a lot of people don't like the elliptical, but you get on the treadmill because it's comfortable. You might even get on the bike, right? You get on that elliptical and it's like, what? I don't like this. 5 minutes, you're like, I don't like it. Those types of workout, for me, I feel like they take a lot of energy, but I definitely need to be open to it, and I definitely need to get into it because, number one, they're different, and when it's different, it changes up your routine, and your body is affected in a positive way. Hey, Darren, if you don't mind, slap those back into the comment section so I don't have to scroll back up, because I want to write them down real quick and jump on there and check it out. Kay says, does anyone know any credit unions that don't care about the utilization? Man, that's a tough one. Life for a Business says, possibly Navy. LOL, I've been seeing some weird approvals with Navy when they establish a relationship with them. I believe Dwayne has a video on this. Yeah, Navy Federal is definitely really, really good about helping people with less than perfect credit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you take it slow and you baby that relationship and just get the secured card and just kind of thug it out for months. I think a lot of the problem is with a lot of people, and myself included at one point, is that, we want or need what we want or need, like yesterday. And so we don't want to wait for tomorrow, and a lot of the times, in order to get the good stuff, you do have to wait for tomorrow. Cinnamon says, so Dwayne, what are your thoughts about the whole BBBY short squeeze? It's kind of like the GameStop repeat. Bro, I don't have nothing to do with any of that stuff. I don't even know about it, because once again, it's very hard to stay focused on whatever your game plan is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard. In other words, it's very easy to have a finger in here, a toe in here, a pinky in here, like it's easy to dabble and get, and not be focused. It's like the internet. How many times have you said, okay, I'm gonna get on YouTube and I'm gonna research this, or I'm gonna get on Google and I'm gonna search this, and then you might get on Google or you might open YouTube, and before you go to search, you see videos and you click on videos and not search for the thing that you came to do. So for me personally, I'm not interested in any of that stuff. Nothing's wrong with it per se, and that's what I mean when I mentioned earlier, there's no right or wrong way. Well, I'll say there's no right. There's a million ways to make money in the stock market, period. And the rules are changing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they can get in there and do their thing. Our lives is our lives. My experience is not your experience. My experience is, in a way, irrelevant until you can experience the same thing that I'm experiencing, or better. So it's kind of irrelevant. When we look at each other and look at what other people have and look at what other people are experiencing, it's not a good look. Devin says, no, only my other PenFed card, PowerCash, is their only card with rewards redeeming to cashback or deposit or statement credit. Very good. Thank you for clearing that up, Devin. Paulette, what's going on, girl? Thanks for stopping by. She says, hey, Dwayne, do you recommend a call to American Express for credit increase or use the app? Which is better? It's a soft pull. Yes, it is a soft pull. I have only requested one credit limit increase with American Express. So when I did that, it was with I called in to do it. But depending on what the limit is on the cards that you currently have with American Express, I would suggest just applying for another card, like straight up. I really would. That's just kind of my thing. Like, I feel like it's easier to get a higher limit on a brand new card than it is to call and be like, expect to get a limit of 5,000 or more, right? Of course, you're going to have people out here talking about, I do a credit limit increase with American Express every 3 months and I get approved for a credit limit increase every time I do one. Listen, it might be a thing. It's not a thing for me. So I'm not even going to give that advice. to be honest with you. Once again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm here and hopefully I can answer. Angela, what's going on? She says, hey, Dwayne and Credit family. I haven't caught a live in a while. Well, it's a pleasure to have you in the building, Miss Angela. Thank you so much for stopping by. Cinema Madness says, the really funny thing about Powell taking, oh my God, a hard stance about inflation is not too far apart from that Biden announced the $10,000 student loan forgiveness for federal borrowers, $3 billion forgiven. Either way, you raise taxes on all taxpayer or print away to devalue the debt to cause more inflation. Yeah, listen, at this point, you know, if we haven't figured out that we're not in control, I mean, we've had all the signs, you know, especially lately, and so I don't even trip. You know, I don't even, honestly, I don't even concern myself with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's irrelevant. Like, what am I gonna do, right? Like, can I personally do something about it? Am I gonna make a difference? Probably not. So, you know, I just thug it out. Shoe Lady 64, what's going on, girl? Thanks for stopping by. She says, hello, everyone. Hey, Shoe Lady. Hey, Sue says, I think Dwayne just gave us his retirement blueprint, maxed out 200,000 worth of credit cards. Definitely would be interesting. You know, I mean, I'm not a person to get a lot of stuff, and I feel like, you know, how could you really access that money? How could you really access the money that's on the cards without buying a lot of stuff? You know, I guess you could just travel around the world and just have, you know, all the memories. But, you know, I feel like a trip becomes another trip, becomes another trip, becomes another trip. And while you can sit there and organize the 50 trips you've taken, I mean, if you've taken 50 trips, like, how special is the 50th trip versus the 27th? You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's just me, you know, my reasoning. Shoe Lady says, I've hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Shoe Lady. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, Shoe Lady's telling y'all, smash that thumbs up. Austin P, what's up, man? He says, when the actual bank says you have much unsecured debt, 160,000 with 9% utilization, how do we combat this for the positive or not a risk perhaps? Honestly, when it comes to credit reports and stuff that they're telling you, just like I shared earlier today, I don't know what the F they're talking about, right? These are the factors that can affect my credit score. And of course, my score on here is 830, right? So they're talking about proportions of loan balances to loan amount is too high. The only loan balance that I have is my student loans, okay? And yes, they're all the way up, you know what I mean? Length of time accounts have been established. Too many accounts with balances. Too many accounts with balances? What the H are y'all talking about? I don't have accounts with balances. You know what I mean? I do not. The YouTube experiment says AZEO is all 0 except 1 in terms of showing balance on credit report among your credit cards. Thank you for clearing that up. I definitely did not know what that is. I honestly, once again, after your credit score gets to a certain point, you don't really care. It's not even like, I don't know. I know for me personally, I don't care about what my score is going to be if my utilization is 0 or if my utilization is 1%, because 1% for me is pretty high anyway. So I'm just like, whatever. Like, I don't even pay attention to it anymore. And of course, you know, that happens because, you know, my score is pretty decent. Journey to Credit said PSECU is a good credit union. It's Benny Black says, why does having our scores drop over 30 points when a paid loan closes? That's frustrating. I was very close to applying for the Amex, for the Gold Amex, and now I have to wait longer. You know, that does happen, and I guess a couple of things, okay? In a way, you could be losing history, right? You're losing payment history, right? Per se. So let's say, like for me, right? Like my student loans is, you know, 1,000,000 years old. So that could be factored into my credit score. Now, of course, when I pay those off, and if I lose that and I lose that history, of course, it can affect my score. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that because it's kind of lame. It's like they're penalizing you for paying stuff off, right? But that's a part of the system. That's a part of the system. You know, it's interesting to ask, why are things the way that they are? You know, for example, they don't teach us about budgeting in school. Why not? They don't teach us about investing. Why not? And I say why not. I mean, we know why not, right? You know, it's just, that's a part of the system. They don't want you to know. They want to keep the rich richer. They want to keep that information for people that are going to seek it out, you know, right? Like it's a secret, right? But my thing is, it's irrelevant in a way. If you teach us about budgeting and credit cards and investing, half the people are not going to take that information and actually take action. That's just how humans are. Like, we're horrible. We can be exposed to something that's good and we're like, you know, the taking action part is a whole nother thing. So it's like, why don't they expose us to certain things? Hey, thanks, Darren. I appreciate you, bro. I'm about to write it down on my little calendar here. Give me a second. Broly Gains. Hybrid calisthenics. Your boy can't spell calisthenics. Okay, I got it now. I got a little help. The Bioneer. Oh, can't spell Bioneer. YouTube channels below. Okay, made a note. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's Benny Black says, why do our scores? Okay, you already saw that. Kay says, are authorized users still working these days for a short-term credit boost? I think so. That's my opinion. Paul, what's going on, man? Says, someone asked a question about how utilization, about how your utilization get business credit. Business credit doesn't report to personal. Do your research and get an LLC, EIN. Do Uber walk dogs? Braid hairs. That what? Okay. You lost me, Paul. Devin says, recently I tested Apple Pay with Apple Card because Discover has digital wallet in the next quarter for 5%. There you go. There you go, my man. Blueprint says Serena wins now, back to the money. That's funny. I in the gym today, of course, they were counting down to her first match, and it was like 7 p.m. or whatever. And they were like 5 hours and X amount of minutes and seconds. And I'm like, oh, okay. I know this is supposedly her last tournament, which, you know, I definitely feel some type of way about that. K Diggs 2, what's going on, my man? Is a channel member. He says, happy Monday, Credit Fam. Don't forget to smash the like. Thank you, sir. Adrian says 1.8 trillion wipe out the market Friday. People are so scared, especially funds. I mean, at this point, you know, it's definitely incredible because we put our hopes in a lot of things. You know, the stock market would be one of the things, right? Like when we buy a car or when we buy a house, like technically, you know, we hope that we're going to be able to pay it off. I mean, we hope that we keep our jobs and that we just keep working and we'll be able to make these payments, when in reality, we have no clue what's going to happen. So that's how I feel about the market as well. It's the same. Journey to Credit says Dover FCU is a good credit union also. Cinemadness says, okay, so I think I may have, for the first discontinued card, I'm grandfathered in that Starbucks Visa card that everyone seems to talk about. I don't think it's bad. Chase discontinued the card. Hey, that's all right. According to the Doctor of Credit, so the card joins others like Citi Dividend. Angela says, Barclays issued my authorized user their own cards with their own account numbers so they can pay for their own purchases. Hey, that's cool. I mean, especially if you have somebody you trust as authorized user. BZ says, do you have any videos on bankruptcy? I do not. I do not. Sorry about that, my bro. Darren says, Bioneer is the word he made up. Technically, no one can spell it. Got you. I mean, it's like pioneer, right? Let's see. John, what's up, my man? John's in the building. John says, I have been hearing data points from a few people that have been denied by Citi for a credit card for not having utilization on very many accounts. Yeah, man, these credit card companies can do what they want, and that's what the terms and conditions states. It says we can do whatever the F we want, and you got to deal with it. So that's definitely what it is. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, please stop them in the comment section. I'm going to stick around for the next 2 minutes or so to make sure I answer you guys' question. Y'all could see it's 8:30, and I got to get up at 3:45, and I really should be sleeping by 9:45 to get 6 hours. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to slap them in the comment section. I definitely want to answer if you have any questions. John says, it sounds like Citi wants to see some utilization in use on the credit accounts showing on that person's report. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, it's silly. I feel like I could easily have an 800 credit score and not get access to some of the things that we think or we know you're supposed to get access to, you know. So like I said, these companies make the rules. They make their own rules. Devin says, according to Credit Karma, I have 2/3 of my cards paid off. There you go. There you go, Devin. You know, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Man, I've been sweating my butt off in this video. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's all that working out, but my shirt's wet. I got on a white shirt. I never wear white. Like, it's weird seeing myself in white. Darren says, gotta get your sleep, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Soldier on, good brother. Darren, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for all the information you dropped in this video. Adrian says, Dwayne, it feel good to be in the top of my credit card journey. I remember I was 654 2 years ago and denied for credit cards. Now I receive 10 credit cards offer every week. Yeah, it's definitely cool, man. I mean, you know, that's kind of why we chase it, right? You know, it's for the opportunity to get access to things that we've never had before. And that's why it's important to have a good credit score. That's why it's important to have money in the bank, you know, or money, right? So you can access things that maybe you wouldn't otherwise. So that's freaking incredible, man. Kudos to you. All right, you guys, I'm going to get on out of here. I hope you guys have an incredible week. Have an incredible day. Of course, you're going to see me here again. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Once again, my name is Dwayne with How to Build Credit TV, and I approve this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.